The Packers will miss the playoffs this year. The Minnesota Vikings are going to take the division. That is my prediction. Outside of that, I think Packers will get a second or third. I'm giving them. I think Packers are not going to be an awful season, but what they did make a huge mistake on was their draft. Packers drafted for the future. Packers did not draft to win next season. They made the NFC Championship last season, and for them to take a quarterback first round, trade up for a quarterback, mind you, that's even bigger. Trading up for Jordan Love, like 2 spots, and drafting a running back in the second round, they're building to the future. So my prediction is also that Aaron Rodgers is not going to be in the team for another few seasons, but that's not that much of a bold prediction. I mean, they drafted Jordan Love, they're looking to the future, which is kind of weird because Aaron Rodgers is not a horrible quarterback. I was kind of trashing him last episode, but I was saying that Kirk Cousins is better. Aaron Rodgers is not going to leave anytime soon. Aaron Rodgers is going to play until his 40s, not until he's 40. He's going to play into his 40s, and teams are going to take him. I mean, there's a lot of teams out there that are needing of a quarterback. Maybe the Vikings, I don't know, depending on how if Kirk Cousins looks awful this year, they're not going to be taking Aaron Rodgers, although they might just for the headlines. But we'll see how that looks. That would be funny, kind of like the Brett Favre thing again. This is not as much comparable to the Brett Favre situation though, because although the Packers did trade up 2 spots to grab Jordan Love in the first round, and that was kind of what they did with the Brett Favre situation, but they didn't trade up, they waited for him to fall. Or the Aaron Rodgers situation when they had Brett Favre. Brett Favre was getting ready to leave. Brett Favre was an old quarterback. He was saying how he's not going to be playing with the team for much longer, and they were surprised to see Aaron Rodgers still on the board. This draft, and that was a good decision by the Packers, a great decision. I mean, you have to, if you're drafting with the first round, you want to be looking either to winning a Super Bowl next season, or if you have a great roster, looking to the future. Taking players like corners in the first round is one of the best players you can take in the first round because you're looking to the future. Detroit Lions taking Jeffrey Okudah was my favorite pick in the draft. That's looking to the future right there. Anyways, aside from that, this is not at all, I don't think this is much comparable to the Brett Favre situation at all, because Aaron Rodgers, first of all, is not saying that he's ready to leave at all. He says he wants to play into his 40s. He wants to play for a long time. Brett Favre was saying his years are coming. He's almost done with the league. Now, of course, he changed his mind over time, but at the time, that's what he was saying. And they were surprised to see Aaron Rodgers still on the board. He was supposed to go first 3 picks in the draft, and he fell all that way. So they were surprised. That was a great pick. This selection, Jordan Love, by no surprise, was still there. Jordan Love, if they didn't take Jordan Love, they could have got him with their original pick, first of all, but they also could have got it maybe second round pick. Probably would have had to trade up in the second round, but they still could have got Jordan Love easily. So they're looking to the future, obviously, with this pick. But the biggest question mark is why with this good of a receiving draft? Now, the biggest need for the Packers was by far their tight end. There was no tight ends to take in the first round. No tight ends at all for the Minnesota Vikings to take in the first, or the Green Bay Packers to take in the first round. But they had so many decisions at wide receiver that they could have went with to make a team next year and try to go for a Super Bowl next year. So that's my biggest reason why the Green Bay Packers will miss the playoffs in 2021 offseason or postseason, is because they did draft awfully. Taking a quarterback first round was by far a terrible decision. They could have waited at their pick and taken a wide receiver. There was so many wide receivers on the draft. With this depth of a class, they could have took one second round and they took a running back. Packers are going to the future. They're not going for next season at all, which is surprising given that they went to the NFC Championship game. Now, with that said, though, I was just saying, like, they were not competing for a Super Bowl at all. Neither were the Vikings. They were both had too many holes on the team. Packers, with that bad of a secondary, now given their secondary is going to be really good in the future. I will say that right now, I'll give it 3 years, Packers will have one of the best secondaries in the NFL. That's my prediction. I think they're going to take an inside linebacker soon, and that's going to be the ending piece with Jair Alexander, Kevin King, and Darnell Savage. Those are young players on the secondary, which, by the way, if you're competing for a Super Bowl, you do not want young players in the secondary, which is why I was just talking about the Minnesota Vikings in the last segment, and I was saying this is hard. I don't think they're going to be much competing for a Super Bowl unless if they take Logan Ryan to help them. But anyways, I think the Packers are going to have an amazing secondary in the future. As of right now, I don't think that they're competing for a Super Bowl at all. They're not. I don't think they're even competing for the division because of how they drafted last year. What the defenses that they played last year showed the entire NFL. If you double team Adams, if you double team Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers freaks out. He throws really bad passes. He gets rid of the ball, throws interceptions. He freaks out if you double team Devontae Adams, which is why it was a given that they were going to take a receiver in the first round. Most likely a tight end if there was a good tight end there. There was no good tight ends there. They would not have taken a tight end. So it seemed obvious that they were going to go with either an offensive lineman and take a wide receiver second round, or go wide receiver first round and take probably a defensive player in the second round. Surprising everybody, they traded up for Jordan Love and took a running back second round, building to the future. They're going to move on from Aaron Rodgers. And even if they don't move on from Aaron Rodgers and they want to keep him, Aaron Rodgers is going to leave. He is not coping this situation well. He was not happy at all with the Jordan Love pick, and that's going to impact their season next season because their offense is garbage. It's not good at all. Aaron Jones solidified himself as a starting running back, a great starting running back. He's probably going to be there for a few more years. And again, great runs set up great passes. So this could really help them. Aaron Jones is going to help them a lot. He's the reason why they did great last season. Aaron Rodgers is still, I'll give it, he's still a great quarterback. Not better than Kirk Cousins, I was saying. He's not an amazing quarterback, but he's still a quarterback you wouldn't build to move on from. He's a quarterback that you want to build your team around still. Matt LaFleur coming in here, it seemed like they were going to build around Aaron Rodgers. They're still not doing that. They don't want to win, is what I'm saying. They're not going to make the playoffs. They're going to try. They're not going to make the playoffs at all. I don't think that they're going to get close. I think 8-8 team, they're going to do great against the bad teams. All right, teams that can't double team Davante Adams, they're going to do bad against. And they're going to do great against. Davante Adams is one of the best wide receivers in the league. I'll say that right now. He's an amazing wide receiver. You get him double teamed, Aaron Rodgers freaks out. What does he do? He throws a check down pass to Aaron Jones, fumbles. It's rinse repeat. It's the same thing over and over, which is why you thought that they were going to take a wide receiver. Shocking everybody. They traded up for Jordan Love, a player that everyone knew was going to still be on the board, by the way. Jordan Love was a great quarterback in college in Utah. He was in Utah, okay? There's not much tape to go by. It's a lot of tape against mediocre teams. So Jordan Love, it did seem like that was about the spot where he should have been taken. Still, it's totally different from the Aaron Rodgers situation. It's not comparable at all. Aaron Rodgers was surprisingly on the board, and Brett Favre was saying he's going to leave. Jordan Love, by no surprise, was on the board, and Aaron Rodgers is saying he wants to play until his 40s. And I'm surprised that they're taking a new quarterback. That's crazy to me. Anyways, still a great run passing game. I think what's his name? I can't remember the name. The Clark guy. Yeah, Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark, great nose tackle. Amazing nose tackle. I think he's one of the best in the league and is very underrated. And then, of course, you have the Smith brothers, who they blitz on every play, and it works for them. So blitzing players on every play, if it works, totally fine. I think Vikings should blitz Anthony Barr on just about every play, like the Green Bay Green Bay Packers blitz Zadarius Smith on every play. Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith are great outside linebackers who I don't know are going to be as good next season as they were last season. I'll give it, they're still going to be a great team, and their defense is going to be amazing in the future. Not next season. I don't think that with that young of a secondary, I don't think that they're going to be competing for the division even. With how good the Minnesota Vikings offense is looking, I don't think that they're going to be competing for the division. Depending on how the Detroit Lions offense looks, again, it's the Detroit Lions. They're probably going to be bad. But if their offense does look good, I don't think that they're going to do great against that either. Bears shouldn't be a problem. I'm just being honest. The Bears offense is looking terrible next season. Who knows, though? Bears might look great next season. Who knows? It's hard to predict, but I will say that I do not think that... I know Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers are not going to be competing for a Super Bowl. Last year, they weren't. I know they made the NFC Championship. They did not compete even against the 49ers. Both times they played them. Anytime they played a good team, they looked bad. They looked bad against the Eagles even. Although, given they probably should have won that game, but still. It's the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles next year are going to be... They're an old team, and they don't look talented at all. They're not going to do great. That's my prediction for the Green Bay Packers, that they will be missing the playoffs next season. Defense is going to be scary in the future. I will give in. If they can build a team around Jordan Love and he's their quarterback for the future, I would give the Green Bay Packers another championship, depending on how Jordan Love looks, because of how good their defense is. That's going to help up their offense a lot, depending on how their run game is too, and their pass game. They have to get a lot of offensive playmakers that they can use draft capital on in 2021. But for this season, I think what would help them the best would be awful. Give them good draft picks, build around Jordan Love. Aaron Rodgers, probably going to be there another couple seasons. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to stay. I'll say that right now. I do not think he's going to stay unless if they give him everything he wants, because that's the kind of guy he is. Just being honest. Great quarterback. Not the kind of quarterback wide receivers would like that much. I mean, Davante Adams likes that he feeds him the ball. But then again, double team Davante Adams. He makes mistakes every time. That's what we saw last season. Season before that, he was looking pretty good. No, 2 seasons before that, he was looking pretty good. So let me know what y'all think. How is their... team going to play next season? I mean, with a young secondary like they are, they go against bad teams. They're going to look great. They're going to look great against bad teams. Their young secondary. And then again, their outside linebackers are amazing. Their inside linebackers need some help. They should draft a new inside linebacker, and their secondary is going to be amazing in the future. With Jair Alexander, Kevin King, and Darnell Savage, that is scary. And it's going to look great against bad teams. They're going to look horrible against good teams. Same way they kind of did last season. Same way they did last season. I think they're going to lose to the Lions one of the games too. Probably a away game against the Lions. Lions don't like them. Anyways, let me know what y'all think. How are they going to do next season? Do you think that they're going to take the division? I think that they're going to miss the playoffs. I don't think that they're going to get close.